Hi, I'm Ali, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're embarking on a journey through the heart of Iran, a land whose history is as intricate as a Persian carpet. This isn't just about kings and conquests, it's the story of a civilization that has shaped our world for millennia. We'll focus on 7 influential figures, from Cyrus the Great to the revolutionaries of the 20th century. All the visuals and references you'll see come from Iran and the Middle East, offering a perspective often missing in Western narratives. We're here to explore not just what happened, but how it was experienced and remembered within the region. Let's begin. Our story begins with Cyrus the Great, a visionary leader who forever changed the course of the ancient world. His name echoes through history as a symbol of wisdom, justice, and innovation. Before Cyrus, empires ruled by fear, cities razed, populations deported, and entire cultures erased in the name of power. The ancient Near East was a place of turmoil, where might often meant right. Cyrus, emerging from Persia in the 6th century BCE, united the Medes and Persians, forging the largest empire the world had seen up to that point. His armies swept across mountains and plains, but his true strength lay in his ability to unite people. His approach was revolutionary. When he conquered Babylon, he presented himself as a liberator, not a conqueror. He respected the traditions and beliefs of those he ruled, earning their loyalty. The Cyrus Cylinder, inscribed in Akkadian, describes how he restored temples and allowed exiled peoples, like the Jews, to return home. This artifact is often called the world's first charter of human rights. This policy of religious and cultural tolerance was both humane and politically astute. It fostered peace, prosperity, and a sense of belonging among the many peoples of his empire. By respecting local customs, he stabilized his vast, multicultural empire. People from Egypt to India found a place within his realm, each contributing to its richness. Art and architecture from his capital, Pasargadae, reflect this inclusivity, a blend of Elamite, Babylonian, Assyrian, and Egyptian styles. The city stood as a testament to unity and diversity. Cyrus's legacy is immense. For Iranians, he is the nation's founding father. His tomb at Pasargadae remains a site of reverence and national pride, drawing visitors from around the world. His model of enlightened rule influenced not just the ancient world, but even the founding fathers of the United States, who admired his ideals of freedom and justice. Cyrus wasn't just a conqueror, he was an architect of a new kind of empire, built on tolerance, multicultural governance, and respect for human dignity. He established the Achaemenid dynasty, laying the foundation for an empire that would define the ancient world for centuries to come. His vision resonates from the Hebrew Bible to modern governments, inspiring leaders and thinkers across generations. Cyrus truly changed the world, leaving a legacy that endures in law, culture, and the very idea of what it means to rule justly. And he was just the beginning. The story of Persia, and its impact on civilization, was only getting started. If Cyrus was the visionary, the founder who dreamed of a vast and tolerant empire, Darius the Great was the master organizer, the architect who transformed vision into reality, shaping the empire's destiny. Taking the throne in 522 BCE after a turbulent succession, Darius secured his rule with determination and set about managing an empire stretching from the Indus to the Danube, one of the largest the world had ever seen. He divided the empire into satrapies, or provinces, each with its own checks and balances. Satrap, military commander, and tax collector, all reporting separately to the king to prevent corruption and abuse of power. Darius established the King's Eyes and Ears, a sophisticated network of inspectors and royal agents who traveled the empire, ensuring loyalty, efficiency, and justice in every corner. He standardized coinage, weights, and measures, and built the legendary Royal Road, revolutionizing trade, communication, and the movement of armies across thousands of miles. Persepolis, his ceremonial capital, showcased the empire's diversity and grandeur. Reliefs depicted delegations from across the realm, united in tribute, each culture honored in stone. Unlike the brutal and violent art of Assyria, Persepolis emphasized peace, cooperation, and the harmony of many peoples under one rule. Darius's true legacy lies in his administrative genius. He built the systems and institutions that allowed the Achaemenid Empire to flourish for centuries, setting a standard for future empires. He took Cyrus's vision and made it sustainable, turning dreams into enduring reality. His influence endured long after the empire's fall, echoing through history as a model of enlightened rule and effective governance. Fast forward 2 millennia to the 18th century. Iran is fractured, invaded, and in chaos. The once mighty Safavid Empire has crumbled, leaving the land vulnerable to foreign powers and internal strife. Cities lie in ruins, and the people are desperate for stability and hope. Out of this turmoil rose Nader Koli Beg, later known as Nader Shah, a military genius from humble origins in the harsh region of Khorasan. His early life was marked by hardship, but his ambition and tactical brilliance set him apart from other warlords of his time. He drove out foreign invaders, reunified Iran, and crowned himself Shah in 1736, restoring a sense of national pride and unity. His rise was meteoric, and he quickly became a symbol of hope for a fractured nation. Nader wasn't content with merely restoring Iran's borders. He launched ambitious campaigns into Central Asia and famously invaded India, sacking Delhi and seizing immense treasure. His military campaigns were legendary, striking fear into neighboring kingdoms. The loot, including the fabled Peacock Throne and the Koh-i-Noor Diamond, funded his army and further campaigns, briefly making Iran a dominant power in the region and dazzling the world with its newfound wealth. But Nader was a conqueror, not an administrator. He excelled on the battlefield, but struggled to govern a vast and diverse empire. His endless wars drained the treasury, and when the wealth ran out, he imposed crushing taxes on his people. The burden fell hardest on peasants and merchants, fueling resentment and unrest across the land. His rule grew increasingly tyrannical. He blinded his own son and purged suspected enemies, ruling through fear and suspicion. Paranoia and brutality became hallmarks of his later years. In 1747, Nader was assassinated by his own officers, plunging Iran back into chaos. His empire collapsed almost overnight, leaving a power vacuum and widespread devastation. Nader Shah is remembered as both the Sword of Persia and a cautionary tale, a leader whose military brilliance was ultimately undone by his own ambition and cruelty. His legacy endures as a reminder of the fine line between greatness and tyranny. Jump to the 20th century and the Pahlavi dynasty's quest to modernize Iran. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, ascending the throne in 1941, launched the White Revolution, land reform, women's suffrage, industrialization, and massive investment in infrastructure and the military. Fueled by oil wealth, Iran's cities modernized rapidly, and a new urban middle class emerged. The Shah promoted Iran's pre-Islamic heritage, especially the legacy of Cyrus, culminating in the extravagant 2,500-year celebration at Persepolis. But rapid modernization created deep social divides, land reform faltered, wealth was unevenly distributed, and political dissent was crushed by Savak, the secret police. The Shah's secularizing policies, an alliance with the West, alienated the clergy and many ordinary Iranians. His vision of a great civilization became a fragile facade, unable to withstand the revolutionary storm gathering against him. To understand the Shah's downfall, we must revisit Mohammad Mossadegh, the nationalist prime minister of the early 1950s. Mossadegh championed Iranian sovereignty, especially over its oil, which was controlled by the British-dominated Anglo-Iranian Oil Company. In 1951, riding a wave of popular support, Mossadegh nationalized the oil industry. He became a global symbol of anti-colonialism, defying British threats and winning at the International Court of Justice. But the British, with US support, orchestrated a coup in 1953, Operation Ajax, overthrowing Mossadegh and restoring the Shah. Mossadegh was imprisoned, and Iran's brief experiment with democracy ended. The coup poisoned Iranian-American relations and cast the Shah as a Western puppet, fueling resentment that would erupt decades later. The 1953 coup discredited secular nationalism and opened the door for a new kind of leader, Ruhollah Khomeini. Khomeini, a high-ranking Shia cleric, first gained prominence in 1963 by opposing the Shah's White Revolution and denouncing his regime's corruption and Western ties. Exiled for his activism, Khomeini developed the theory of velayat-e-faqih, rule by Islamic jurists. His message, spread via smuggled cassette tapes, resonated with millions disillusioned by the Shah's rule. By the late 1970s, Khomeini had become the unifying symbol of opposition, bringing together religious students, intellectuals, merchants, and workers. The Iranian Revolution erupted in 1978, toppling the Shah in early 1979. Khomeini returned from exile to massive crowds and quickly consolidated power, sidelining secular and leftist groups. A referendum established the Islamic Republic, with Khomeini as supreme leader. He fundamentally remade the state, enshrining clerical rule and reshaping Iran's identity. After Khomeini's death, Iran's political landscape became a battleground between hardliners and reformists. Hassan Rouhani, a veteran politician and cleric, emerged as a key reformist figure, serving as president from 2013 to 2021. Rouhani promised to resolve Iran's nuclear crisis and end its isolation through diplomacy. In 2015, after years of negotiation, he secured the Iran Nuclear Deal, JCPOA, limiting Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. The deal sparked hope and economic optimism, but in 2018 the US withdrew, reimposing harsh sanctions. Rouhani's reformist agenda faltered, and economic hardship fueled disillusionment. His presidency illustrates the immense challenges of enacting change within Iran's system and the impact of global politics on its future. From Cyrus's tolerant empire to Rouhani's diplomatic efforts, Iran's history is shaped by leaders navigating complexity and change. Their legacies, empires built, states organized, sovereignty restored, revolutions engineered, echo through the centuries. These leaders represent competing visions: tolerance, might, modernization, democracy, and theocracy. The past is a living presence in Iran, fueling debates about identity and the nation's future. Which leader do you think had the most lasting impact? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Iranian history. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into world history. Thanks for watching.